Pride of the Family. Starring Paul Hartman, Fay Wray, Natalie Wood, and featuring Bobby Hyatt.
Darling, relax. You've been like this all morning. And for goodness sakes, dear, stop worrying. Everything's going to be all right. You just see. I'm sure your Uncle Harry will answer the wire today. And remember, not a word to your father.
But, Mother, I just don't feel right hiding things from Daddy.
Never mind. I know your father better than you do. And I'm certainly not going to stand by and see my daughter be the only one not going on this tour.
But, Mother, if Daddy can't afford it, maybe I shouldn't go.
Well, it's nice of you to feel that way. But every girl in your class is going. And if your father can't afford to send you, it's not going to hurt just this once to borrow the money from my brother Harry.
But that's what I mean. You know how Daddy feels about Uncle Harry.
Oh, way down deep, they're very fond of each other. It could be your Uncle Harry now. Hello? Oh, yes. Yes, she's right here. Just a minute. Tom.
Hello, Tom? Oh, real crazy. Cool. Crazy. Real casual. Only fine. We'll see you then. Bye.
And who's cool and crazy and feels just fine about it?
Oh, well, that was Tom. He wanted to play tennis.
Oh.
First class guide, Albie Morrison, Jr. reporting. The captain requests your presence for breakfast.
Aye, sir.
Oh, Pop, that's Navy talk.
Oh, I'm sorry, Junior. Say, you look great in that Boy Scout uniform.
Gee, thanks, Pop. We're having a parade today.
Want me to take your picture?
Oh, Pop, you're always taking my picture, but you never develop them.
Besides, I've got to batch them down in the dark, and we'll develop them this afternoon.
Gee, thanks.
You know, someday you're going to look back on your scouting days. I was a Boy Scout myself.
Yeah, I know. You told me.
Oh, yeah.
Junior! He'll be there in a minute.
Scouting was the most fun I ever had, you know? I've still got the beads I strung the day before I sent in my resignation.
Resignation?
Yeah. You'll never know how I've missed those summer camps. Those marshmallow roast, basket weaving.
Gee, Pop, why'd you quit?
I had to give up a lot of things when I married your mother.
I'll be here in a second.
I hope so. Junior, your arm, what's happened?
Nothing. I was just practicing my first aid lesson, how to fix a splint.
Oh, well, take that thing off your arm and sit down and have your breakfast. You want some syrup?
Oh, thank you, Mom. That's the sugar, Ann. Don't stuff
Those
yourself.
hotcakes smell
Good
good.
morning, Dad.
Good morning, dear.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Good morning, darling.
Here's your morning paper, Pop.
Looks like I had a rough night.
Hey, Albie, don't let your pancakes get cold.
Yeah, Ann, would you pass the syrup, please?
Yes, Daddy.
That's ketchup. Would you pass the syrup, please?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the matter with this family this morning?
Why? What do you mean?
There's something going on that I should know about.
Of course not. What makes you so nervous this morning, Albie?
Me?
Yes, relax. I'll get you some more pancakes. You drink your milk.
But I don't want any milk. Hey, Pop, can I put a splint on your leg?
No, you can't put a splint on my leg. Do as your mother told you. Drink your milk.
But I don't want any milk.
Junior, milk's very good for you. It's full of vitamins and minerals and calcium. Calcium's very good for your teeth.
All right, I'll drink my milk. But then can I put a splint on your leg?
All right, but drink your milk first.
Gee, thanks, Pop.
Here, Albie, now finish your breakfast.
That's the back door.
I'll get it.
And why is your mother so anxious to get... that's the front door.
I'll get it. I'll go with you.
What the world is going on around?
Albie, what are you doing? Hello? You want Mr. Morrison? Yes, he's here. It's for you, dear.
Hello. Water company. The water bill? I paid the water bill last week. Okay, goodbye.
Was that the water company?
I won't tell you.
That was Tom. I promised to play tennis with him, but I didn't expect him so soon.
Oh, well, you go right ahead, honey. But I'll take care of everything.
Yes, you go right ahead, and your mother will take... What's everything?
Oh, dishes, pots, pans, everything.
Oh. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you want me to take it out to the incinerator for you?
No, thank you. I'll do it myself. Say, Albie, why don't you put on a hat and coat and take a nice long walk? Do you good.
Oh, very well.
Telegram from Mrs. Morrison.
I'll take it.
This telegram says Mrs. Morrison.
Well, I'll see that she gets it.
I'm sorry, but that's what I'm getting paid for. This telegram says Mrs. Morrison. It's my job to see this delivered to Mrs. Morrison.
Well, I'm Mr. Morrison.
How do you do?
How do you do? Oh, wait a minute. I'm a very
What
patient
is it,
man.
dear?
Telegram from Mrs. Morrison.
Oh. Oh.
Well, why don't you take it?
Oh, yes.
You were waiting for Mrs. Morrison, weren't you? Well, aren't you going to read it?
Oh, later. I want to finish this article.
Well, hadn't you better read it? It might be important.
I haven't got my reading glasses.
Catherine, you've never had reading glasses.
That's right.
There's something going on around here that I ought to know about. I demand you open that telegram now and read it out loud.
Albie, I might as well tell you because you're going to find out anyway. I want Anne to go on the tour with the rest of her graduating class. I don't want her to be the only one not going. So I asked my brother Harry...
Harry?
Now, just a minute. Let me finish. I asked him to lend me the money. I told him it was urgent, so he's wired it.
Of all the people to borrow money from, you know how I feel about your brother Harry.
Well...
I don't want a cent of his money.
I knew you couldn't afford it, and regardless of what you think of my brother Harry, he's... Oh,
What's the matter? Did he send it?
terribly sorry, but can't spare the money at this time. Love to you and the kids. Harry.
Didn't even mention me, eh?
I don't know what to do now. I didn't mean to deceive you, but I was so anxious for her to go.
Anne's going on that vacation. And we don't need your brother Harry's money either. I'm the head of this house.
But it's a 6 weeks tour. It'll cost around $600.
I don't care what it costs. A father has certain obligations to his daughter, and money's no $600.
That's why I wired my brother Harry.
I see what you mean, Kate. May as well face it, I'm a failure.
Oh, Albie. You're not a failure.
Don't try to spare me. I've let the family down, and I know it. Where's that picnic table you've always wanted? It's a small thing, but it's something you've always wanted. And the Boy Scout tent. Junior's always wanted a Boy Scout tent. Now my little daughter, handicapped. Catherine, Anne's going on that vacation. I've made up my mind. I'll get the money. I don't know how, but I've made up my mind I'm going to get it. It's the last thing I do.
Albie, don't do anything foolish.
Come in. Well, Fred, I want to change the layout on page 3. I'm going to put that big ad on page 5. And take the circus story from page 2 and split it over to page 8 and 9 if necessary. I'll come down and see how you're getting along this afternoon. Oh, hello, Morrison. Sit down. What's on your mind?
Mr. Murdoch, I worked for you for a long time. I need $600.
$600? Well, sit down, sit down.
You see, Mr. Murdoch, my daughter's graduating class is going on a tour, and she can't go unless I get the money.
Well, now, are you sure that you can afford this?
Well, it's not a question of can't afford it. I've got to afford it, Mr. Murdoch. You see, everybody else is going, and if she doesn't go, it might affect her entire future. And please, Mr. Murdoch, don't let me down.
This is pretty important to you, huh? Well, Morrison, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you have that money. I admire a man that puts his family first. Cashier will have it for you tomorrow.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Murdoch. You don't know what this means to me.
Sit down, Morrison. I want to have a little talk with you. I've been thinking about this for some time. You've got a lot of ability. Occurred to me if you went to Cleveland and worked on our daily paper there for 3 or 4 months and studied their methods, it'd do you a lot of good and do our paper here a lot of good, too. You remember Jones?
Yes.
And Hendricks?
The fat fellow,
Yeah, well, they went to Cleveland. When they came back, they both got big promotions. Now, for you, it might mean a jump to layout supervisor or advertising manager. Why, there's no telling what you might come back as.
Well, I'd like to come back.
Oh, you come back all right. But what you come back as is entirely up to you.
Cleveland?
Yes.
3 or 4 months?
That's right.
Well, I don't know if Catherine would want me to go away.
Well, Morrison, I'll tell you what. You think it over.
Well, I will. Mr. Murdoch, about that money, I think you ought to have some sort of security.
Security?
Yeah, you see, well, I've got a $10,000 life insurance policy, and I think you ought to hold that until I repay you.
Well, if you think it's necessary, Albie.
Thank you, Mr. Murdoch. The policy's at my home. I'll bring it over in the morning.
Yeah, see you then.
Cleveland?
How do you do, sir? My name is McKinley. May I help you?
Well, I'm interested in this picnic table.
Well, you see, this one happens to be a sample. We make them to order. So if you'll give me the measurements, we'll be very happy to make one up for you.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
The patio's, it's about 8 feet wide.
I see.
And the height doesn't make any difference.
No.
The width?
Mm-hmm.
dear, I didn't know you were home. What were you looking for?
Oh, I wasn't looking for anything. I was just...
Well, what was that you just put in your pocket?
Oh, that's an itch I had. Whenever I put ketchup on my hotcakes, you remember that rash I had when I first...
Hello, Betty.
Hello, Ann.
Oh, Ann, you're just in time. I want to talk to you.
In time for what?
Well, everybody sit down. I'll tell you all about it.
Well, what is it, Albie?
Ann, I found out why your mother tried to borrow money from Uncle Harry. Well, we don't need the money your Uncle Harry didn't send. I've arranged everything myself. And you're going on that tour.
Mother, did you hear that?
Yes, Catherine. And you and Junior will be taken care of, too.
Oh, Daddy. Daddy.
Albie, where is this money coming from?
Never mind. I've always said that no sacrifice is too great for my loved ones.
Sacrifice.
Well, now that everything's set, I'll just go get ready for dinner.
What's the matter, Mother? Is something wrong?
I wish I knew. His insurance policy. Now, what would he want with his insurance? We haven't paid enough on it to borrow, and he won't get the $10,000 unless...
Mother, you don't suppose that Daddy could be thinking of...
Wait a minute. So that was how he... Oh, we're letting our imaginations run away with us. It's ridiculous. Your father's not the sort of man who'd take his... Oh.
But what did he mean when he said that you and Junior would be taken care of, too?
Catherine, I'd like to talk to you alone for a minute.
Alone?
Oh, well, Ann, you want to change your clothes for dinner anyhow, didn't you?
But, Daddy,
Albie, I want Ann to stay.
Oh. Oh, well, okay. Catherine, how would you feel if I went away?
Oh, Albie.
Oh, I'd come back. I don't know what I'd come back as, but I'd come back.
Albie, Ann has changed her mind about the tour. She doesn't want to go.
Mother's right. I don't want to go anymore.
Nonsense. After all the plans I've made, I'm not a man of idle words. When I said Ann was going on that tour, I meant it.
But, Albie,
I really don't want to go, Daddy. You know, I can't. Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, just a minute. It's a sort of a private conversation. If you don't mind, I'll take this in the other room. Hello, Mr. McKinley.
Mr. Morrison. Yes, I'm very sorry, Mr. Morrison, and I apologize, but I've lost the measurements for that table you ordered.
Just make it the usual 6 feet long. I don't care what kind of wood it is, as long as it's light enough to pick up.
Mother, what are we going to do?
Okay, goodbye. Will you excuse me? I promised Junior I'd develop some pictures this afternoon. I'm going to do it right now if it's the last thing I do.
Standing out of boxes, and when I saw him, he almost had the rope around his neck.
Oh, what are we going to do? This is terrible.
It's all my fault.
Oh, no, Ann, no. No, it's far beyond that. Your father is a man of principle. And once he's made up his mind, it's hard to change it. Where is he now?
I think he's in the kitchen.
Anne, find Dr. Hammond's number and call him. They're old friends. I'll go in the kitchen and see what he's up to.
Any gas? I haven't gas in years. There's no gas in the stove. I was just fixing the pilot light.
Oh, Albie, don't you think you ought to go and lie down?
Well, I think one of us ought to lie down. This has been the most hectic day I've ever lived. Oh.
What's the matter, Pop?
Oh, this red bulb is burned out. I can't see to do anything without the red bulb.
Oh, Pop, you promised.
Well, this afternoon when I go to town, I'll buy a new red bulb, but... Wait a minute. Why don't I take this white bulb, and I could paint it with iodine? That'd make a red bulb, wouldn't it? You go to the house and get the iodine, I'll fix the bulb.
Okay.
Oh, Dr. Hammond.
Hello, Captain. Anne phoned me. She sounded slightly hysterical.
Oh, it's awful. It's just awful. Albie is trying to do away with himself.
Albie?
Anne saved him from hanging, and I saved him from taking gas. I'm afraid he's determined.
Well, that's ridiculous. I've known Albie for years. He couldn't possibly commit suicide. He thinks too much of himself.
Mom! Where's the iodine?
Iodine? What?
Pop wants it.
Oh, doctor! Quick! Anne! Everybody come! Hurry!
Anne, where's your father?
Albie! Were you looking for the iodine?
Oh, you're too late. I found it.
It's empty!
I wanted to do a good job. It took a lot.
Get down here, Albie. Sit down. That's it. Come on, hurry it up, kids. Hurry it up. Come on, drink it down, Albie. That's that boy there. All right, some more.
Wait a minute. I don't like milk. I hate milk.
Don't fight it, Pop. It's got calcium, remember?
You keep out of this, Junior.
Come on, drink it down. Drink it all. That's fine. Here, one more, Albie. Just one. That's it. Come on. Go there. Now, Albie, how do you feel?
Well, for one thing, I'm not thirsty. I'm going to get to the bottom of this thing. It was the last thing I ever do.
Albie, I want you to stop talking like that. And whether you like it or not, Anne is not going to go on that trip.
I'll get it.
No, you won't. I'm going to find out what's going on here. I'll get that. Oh,
hi, Albie.
Mr. Murdoch.
Say, when I got home, I told my wife about you wanting to give me your insurance policy against that loan, and she thinks it's just terrible of me to let you do it. She says that any man that thinks as much of his family as you do is a good, solid, dependable citizen. And I think I agree with her. So, I brought you the $600. And I don't want you to consider this as a loan. Let's say it's sort of an advance on next year's bonus.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Murdoch.
I'm proud to have you on the paper, Albie. You're a mighty good man. Well, say, you're a little messed up here. What's been going on?
That's what I'd like to know. I bought a tent for Junior, and I was trying to hide it in the garage when Anne came in and screamed. Then I tried to fix the pilot light. And Catherine came in and screamed. Then I took some iodine to make a red bulb for my darkroom, and everybody's making a big thing about it. 10 cents worth of iodine.
Well, Murdoch, say, I want to talk to you. You know that stomach trouble I've been having lately?
Yes, I know.
Well, sir, I've found something that fixes me up just fine.
You have?
Yeah.
You know, I've been having trouble with my stomach
Well,
recently.
let me tell you about this.
Yeah?
I saw Charlie Green. Charlie?
Oh, Albie, will you ever forgive me? We thought you took the iodine because you wanted to collect the insurance money so Anne could go on her trip.
Is that what you thought? Well, I'll tell you what that insurance policy means to me. It means to you and me. 20 years from now, I'll cash that in, and we'll buy a little farm. And every morning, I'll get up, and I'll feed the pigs, and I'll gather the eggs,
And milk the cows.
and I'll milk the milk.
Well, Albie, you may not like milk, but hurry,